YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? Man, let me bring another video to y'all. Um, Today's video, I wanted to bring up entrepreneurship because I know a lot of you watchers are, venturing into being an entrepreneur, maybe watching myself or somebody else or a family member become an entrepreneur, or maybe they're already in the business of running their own business. Um, that might be something that interests you, to the point where you want to become it, or a friend of yours wants to become an entrepreneur. So maybe lend them out to your family member or a friend and say, hey, this individual is doing it. Talk to them, follow the steps that they say or whatever. So I wanted to make this video because there's a huge gap between being an entrepreneur um, and literally doing the work and trying to become it by following in the footsteps of somebody else. Okay, so this video is actually a couple of questions that you're going to need to ask yourself, and maybe a few questions that you're going to need to ask the entrepreneur in which you want to follow. So hopefully this helps you, but continue to stay tuned, and let's get into it. So I was watching David Never Sleeps again, I know, and one of the things he said was um, something about the wrong Starbucks, and I'm over here intrigued. Like, what are you talking about, the wrong Starbucks? Because I have no clue what the heck it's going to say. So I tune into it 100%. Now I click over to watch the video. I make sure I tune my ears into it and focus on what he's actually speaking about to see if it even has substance to it. Hoping it does, because that's why I'm watching him. It's for the substance. But he said a metaphor pertaining to being an entrepreneur, because he's an entrepreneur himself. His wife is now an entrepreneur. They're doing amazing. And with me being 3 years into entrepreneurship or running my own business or real estate or whatever the case may be, this is 3 years into it. I look up to a lot of individuals, but the thing that I do is I ask a lot of questions. And he gave this example. So let me give this example and then I'll get into the video. So he gave this example of going to the wrong Starbucks. So look at it like this: as you are setting up a blind date, right? Which would be the entrepreneur, or you're following an entrepreneur. So you're setting up a blind date and you say, hey, blind date, I drive this kind of car, I wear these shoes, these pants. Not meaning like this is what you're wearing at the exact moment, but just giving an idea of kind of the style and flavor that you have or the vibe that you give off. And the other individual says the same thing, okay? And now you say, let's just go on a date. Meet me at the Starbucks. You've never said the Starbucks down the street. You've never identified whether, you have a car or not. You never identified a time. You never identified what you're going to be wearing, what you look like. You've never shared any details about the exact situation, okay? But yet you still go to the Starbucks because you're like, man, I'm talking to them on the phone. As a man, you're like, man, she's so beautiful. Like, the way she sounds is just, I love it. So you're thinking she's got to be at an upscale Starbucks. So for here in Arizona, let's say we're going out to Scottsdale or something like that. And we're going to reference Arizona because I don't know where all the other places are. But we're going to Scottsdale to meet this young lady. And for the young lady, she's like, yo, he has so much baritone. He's like Barry White. He's intelligent. He drives a really, really nice car. But I'm not sure where he's at. So I'm going to go to the closest one next to me. I'm over here by Westgate, so I'm going to the one by Westgate. That's still a nice one, but I'm not sure where he's at. So let's head over here, okay? So we both walk into the Starbucks, and I'm looking around trying to figure out who I'm really looking for, because all I did was talk to her on the phone. I don't know what she looks like. I don't really know what she's wearing. I don't necessarily know if she brought the car that we spoke about. Maybe they have 2 or 3 cars. I'm just thinking like, hey, wherever. So she's doing the same thing. you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna actually walk away. Both of you guys are gonna just leave. You're gonna exit the Starbucks, and the reason why is because you don't know what you're looking for. You have no clue what this person looks like. They have no clue what you look like. That is exactly what entrepreneurship is, and following behind somebody that looks good as an entrepreneur, but you're unsure of what they do. Okay, so that's what I want to get into. So before I do that, I want to give a shout out to my t-shirt person again, Shamrock Enterprises. We're trying to build something big, and we are building something big. So I'll give a shout out to Alicia Thompson, and then I'll put her information down below again, just in case you wanted to do a customized shirt. So I do have a couple of these. My wife has one, and she's done a few shirts for me. Amazing job. If you do shirts, and you want to send me something, let me know. I'll definitely sport the shirt and give you a shout out, man. I love giving shout outs to anybody that I can. Love giving help, especially because this is about entrepreneurship. I also want to send a shout out to anybody looking to start their own entrepreneurship or to start out their own business and to step out on your own. Just do it. Have the confidence. Love yourself, and we'll come out on top. So anyway, let's get back into the video. Gave you an example of the blind date, right? You have no clue what you're looking for. You have no clue, what direction to go to. They even ended up at 2 different dang Starbucks. They didn't even go to the right one. Part of becoming somebody that you, I don't want to say envy, but that's something that people do. And it's actually a book that I've been reading is Green with Envy. And that one is a great example of what envy is like. You don't want to envy anybody. You want to admire. You want to be inspired by them. But those things need to actually have you ask questions. So when you see an entrepreneur that you actually admire and inspire to be, what you want to do is now start asking questions of them. Okay? Because looking at their outside appearance and seeing that they have a boat, they have a motorcycle, they have a beautiful car, their wife or husband looks amazing, or their significant other looks amazing, to be politically correct. You have no clue what they're going through in life. They may have been trying to have kids for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, a day, 5 minutes, and it's never happened. And they're looking at you like, you've got kids, and that's what they want. But because you see their outside appearance, you don't know what they're going through. They might be deep into debt having that boat, but they want to have a persona. They might be deep into debt having a car, having the hair done all the time, the clothes. All of this stuff doesn't really get them to be the entrepreneur. That's just the outside look, okay? So what you want to do is ask questions of that individual if they're willing to. If they're not, that's fine. You'll get their characteristics and vibes right off of that. And you either continue, do some research, or you just let it go and then find another person to research. But by asking questions, even on the example of the blind date, they would have found out, said, let's exchange photos so I know who to look for. Let's exchange phone numbers maybe, if they didn't do that. And maybe they were chatting on the website or something. So that when you get there, you can just call the individual like, hey, I'm at the wrong one or such and such, or I'm right across from you. What other things could you have done? You could have said, what time are you going to be there? Maybe what vehicle you're going to be riding in. Do you want me to come pick you up? Different things like that will get you to narrow down all of the things that just make it broad to now you're like, I know exactly where I'm heading. That's entrepreneurship. Okay. So I see individuals looking at, hey, Darrell's doing great and I want to do what he's doing, but you need to realize like I'm losing sleep all the time. I go to sleep after my wife and kids. I wake up before my wife and kids. I'm doing videos like anytime I can. I got to just squeeze it in, lock myself in the room. I got to edit those videos after I've done it. So sometimes it sits in the camera for a day or two, or the editing step for a day or two. And I'm just getting tired. I got listings to go to, things like that all encompass being an entrepreneur. Okay, so it looks good. I might make it look good on the outside, hence social media. Social media is all just a show. It's entertainment. It's not real life. Okay, if you could see real life, you would see my head going crazy, going hectic, having good days, bad days. Actually, I just did a photo shoot for a house that I'm listing, right? And actually, it's a tour, so it's the video I just did last week. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and click on that. But and hit the like button and share that thing, man. It's a beautiful home. But the thing is, I had a kidney stone the day of the photo shoot, so I couldn't do it that day. So I was out a week. Then the very next week, I was just exhausted from the whole ordeal of the kidney stone. So now I'm down 2 weeks. So then we go the following week. So now we're 3 weeks into it. I do a video. I buy a drone, shoot the drone. The drone shot comes out perfect, but because they were watering, plants and rinsing down stuff or whatever, it didn't come out 100%. So I was like, you know what? That's okay. It was the first time using a drone. I'm still going to come back to the house and would do it again. So that shot was literally just wasted. The photos that we took came out too dark. So we had to go back again. Took some more photos. Those didn't come out right. So then I said, you know what? We need to take the flash over there, make this thing work. We take the flash over there again, and we have the right settings and everything, but we drop the darn flash mid photos, and that thing breaks. So now that's the end of that photo shoot. So now I have to schedule somebody. So those of you that know, my wife takes my photos, and to have to schedule somebody else to go and do this is now like an insult, slap in the face, things like that. This is all entrepreneurship. These are the things that you're going to go through. You need to get the job done. Now, mind you, I still have videos to do. I still have kids. I still have to be a husband, do those duties, and take care of home and things like that. But I have due diligence to my clients, so I now have to go over there and figure out something. So I schedule somebody to do the photos. These are all things that I'm saying because if you just thought, hey, he just has a $925,000 listing, there's a lot of work that had to go into that. I had to present myself for 3 years as a realtor. I had to present myself as a person to trust and to love and want to utilize when it comes to listing this home. This is a good friend of mine, but they've had somebody in the past that they could have went to. They could have went to right now. But she chose to go with me. And, getting into this industry, you're not going to see those things until you literally hit the ground running, okay? You're going to hit the ground running and think, man, I'm doing it like Darrell. No, what you need to do is come back and ask Darrell questions. What about this? What about that? When these things arise, ask questions. Ask your broker, ask your friends, whoever's in the industry that you want to do, or that person that you're looking towards. Ask those questions to that individual and just keep asking questions. The key is to continue to ask questions no matter what. That is what's going to set you apart from other individuals. That is what's going to help you grow. The other individuals that aren't asking those questions are not going to grow. They're going to continue to look at that thing and say, man, he has that Escalade. I really, really want it. Not realizing this dude is in debt. That's something that I realized when I read the Green with Envy. Green with Envy was telling me there's 3 different sets of individuals, and they all have the same apartment flat or condo, but one bought it cash, one financed it, and then one is just really, really upside down and doesn't really present themselves like they feel they should. So the one who paid cash, they got wind of it and was like, they must be a trust fund baby, all these other things. But it's all on the perception, not realizing all 3 of them have the same darn thing. Whether you paid cash, payments, or you're just upside down, you all have the same thing. It's what you do with it and the questions you ask and how hard you push that's going to take you to the next level. Even though you're upside down, start asking questions if there's assistance. Start asking questions. Is there another job that I can pick up? Is there another job my spouse can pick up? Is there something I can do or sell in order to pay these bills? Is there a way I can refinance and get back a hold of taking care of these bills? The one in the middle maybe this is best for you. Maybe you just want to double up on payments. I have no clue. Maybe you want to refinance. The one that paid cash, maybe they saved up all this money and now all their money is gone. But in the book, what happened is their family died. So it looks great, but they had to lose a family member in order to get this money. I would rather have the family member than have the money in that situation, because it's not worth, having the gripe and the grief that everybody's like, oh man, you got all this money, you paid all of this and you look great and whatever else, but I lost a family member, a spouse, a mother, a father, whoever, a child, whatever the case may be, just to have this money. So this whole video is to tell you guys, don't look up to individuals that have that goal or that level that you can't achieve, because you're gonna go crazy trying to do that. The way to achieve any goal or level of those individuals or anybody that you wanna go to is have a plan, write it out, continue on that plan even when it works or doesn't. And along the way, you're gonna continue to adjust to make sure you're on the right path. Ask questions, and then again, ask more questions. You never stop asking questions. Even when you're the one that's up there and other people are asking you stuff, ask questions still. The people that are sitting down here looking at you, you're going to ask questions so that now you guys are on the same field, or they come up. You're still on the same field. It doesn't change who or where you are. But if you don't ask these questions, end result is you're going to end up at the wrong Starbucks. So hopefully you made it to the end of this video. Hopefully this information is good for you. Ask questions. Understand what you're looking for. A lot of these people that you look up to are not living the real life. So don't always envy these individuals and try to follow in their footsteps. A lot of it is a show. Share this video if it's going to be helpful for somebody. Put a comment down in the bottom. Put Shamrock if you made it to the end. And then please go visit my friend who made this shirt, and get yourself a shirt made, customize something, start a business. Yo, we're business getters, man. Hey, love you guys.